I don't know when things are going to get back. I did hear a rumor, speaking of comedy clubs, that some comedy clubs are starting to open in May. So, and that's like in 4 days. It's April 27th now. So, in a week or two, some clubs, are going to start opening up, and they're going to try to run at 30% capacity. So I guess what the idea is that they're going to try to have everybody spaced out. No one's going to sit with people they don't know, and it's going to be totally spaced out. I don't know how that's going to work. Because I miss stand-up, I'm very interested in... I hope it works out, and I want to do it. There's the nitpicky side of me that goes, if we can't go back to the way we used to do it, I don't want to do it. And that's just me being stubborn. That's just me going, well, I like it this way, and I want it done this way. But for comedy, you don't want, like, that's exactly what you don't want. You don't want to play to a room that's only a third full. And if you do have to play to a room that's only a third full, you want everyone seated together, clumped together, because the energy feeds off each other. The audience feeds off each other. One of the worst setups you could have for comedy is an empty room with sporadic people, like spaced out people that aren't even sitting together, because they don't gel, they don't become one. You're almost like performing for each table, it almost feels like, instead of a crowd in unison. It's hard to get a rhythm going. It's hard to get a flow. And I know that's sounding extra picky while we're in a global pandemic. Like, they're actually trying to find a way to adapt to the situation, and I'm over here going, yeah, but the vibe's gonna be all off. It is. It just is. It's like doing comedy with the lights on, or doing stand-up during the day, or doing stand-up comedy outside, or anywhere with really high ceilings. Stand-up comedy is one of those, I hate using the word art form, because I don't think it is. I think the way, there's like a very small percentage of comics that the way they do it, I'm like, that's an art form. And then there's the rest of us where I think we're just running away from a day job. That's the category I'd put me in. Like, because I watch some of the greats of all time, and I'm like, that's art. And then I look at the stuff I do, I'm like, okay. Like, it's not bad. And it's funny, it's making people laugh, it's bringing joy, but I don't know if this joke about me being afraid that I have bed bugs classifies as art. But that's besides the point. There's a lot of things that go in to making stand-up comedy work. All right? It's a smaller room with low ceilings, and it needs to be dark. The seats need to be a little bit uncomfortable. You don't want recliners, all right? You don't want couches. You want people sitting up and attentive. You want to paint the walls black, and you want the only focus of the room to be the stage, because you don't need distraction. You don't want distraction. It should look like a movie theater, except with low ceilings, because there's no big screen. We got a human being up there. There needs to be very limited food, quiet food, snacking food, if any. My favorite clubs don't serve food. The Comedy Store here in La Jolla, they recently got a popcorn machine. And that's the only food that they serve. But the rest is all drinks. You want to get dinner? Eat it beforehand. Or after. There's a couple places that have really good dinner, like comedy clubs, but for the most part, you don't want to eat dinner at a comedy club anyway. There's a handful of places that will serve you top-notch food that's probably better than any of the local restaurants anyway. But for the most part, you don't want to eat at a comedy club. Just go over there, get your 2 drinks like it's a strip club. That also hurts my feelings. But that's all there should be. Small, tight, compact, strangers in anonymity, in the darkness, laughing together at things they probably wouldn't laugh at if people saw their face. That's why I'm worried about them opening the comedy clubs only at a third capacity, everybody spaced out. I don't think it's going to lead to great shows. But I do appreciate the effort. They're trying. We're trying to adapt. We're trying to find different ways. I don't think it's going to be great, but it might just have to do until this is done. That was almost poetic. It might just have to do until this is done. Put that on a meme with my face next to it.